Hi everyone, welcome to the weekly video. I've had subscriber numbers going up a little bit, which is nice to see. I've had a few more comments week in, week out, which is also nice to see. Let me just fix my collar here instead of looking like an idiot. I know that one or two people who regularly check in are quite busy this week, maybe next week as well. So hello to you, you know who you are, and take care, and I hope all goes well. But yeah, if you find anyone who's taking a peek at these videos, then encourage them to like and subscribe, and that will hopefully kick me up the bottom to do even better content and plan some more discussion topics, because you might have suspected I'm very bad at planning. It depends on the post. It depends on what I've been watching recently. Post-wise, there was only the one Arrival this week. It is Oppenheimer. I've discussed in a different video. I did treat myself to the Barbenheimer phenomenon at the cinema. Phenomena. I really had a good time. So now I can have my own. Oh yeah, I can do this. I can just do the same thing again. I can treat myself. Might even do it that way around and be brave. Who knows? But I recommend both. And Oppenheimer was a film I ended up joining the WatchSkip Plus guys to discuss. We finally managed to sync up our schedules, so that was very good. Last week, if you listened to Death by DVD, my episode where I guested there is finally available. It was first dropped on their Patreon, and it's available to all. I discuss the Dreams in the Witch House episode of Masters of Horror. So there's quite a lot of love for Stuart Gordon. There's discussion of Mick Garris. It's I think it's an interesting and enjoyable conversation. That was a great time I had chatting with Harry there, and it was kind of our first time with full flowing conversation. We set up the Skype, we did that, and what you hear is pretty much how the whole conversation went. But we then continued to talk for about an hour and a half after that. I had an evening free. It was great. We just dotted around different conversation points, and it was wonderful. So I hope that will certainly not be the only time I'm on Death by DVD. So that is on our podcast I recommend, and that episode is worth a listen if you can stand my voice elsewhere. I will be guesting hopefully next month on the Feminine Critique, which is hosted by Emily and Trivia and Christy Makepeace, but it will be the offshoot. It will be Stocking Stuffers that Emily does every December. I've guested on there, I think, twice before. She does cover the enjoyably cheesy Christmas movies, and we are coming into enjoyably cheesy Christmas movie territory. Noirvember is just coming to an end. I've already been trying to get ahead of myself with the cheesy Christmas movie schedule. So that will be fun, unless you hate the cheesy movies that are about this time of year, in which case it will be an absolute nightmare for you. And I'm sure you're used to that every year at this time. On Shudder in the UK, I think It's a Wonderful Knife drops at the end of this week, possibly on the Friday. So I'm looking forward to watching that. And last year, Shudder had a couple of decent little seasonal horror movies on there. So I'm hoping they have another one or two that I'll enjoy. I've forgotten what the other one was last year, but one was Christmas Bloody Christmas, which was not as good as I wanted it to be, but it was fun. So as I say, this year It's a Wonderful Knife, and I'm hoping one or two others. Disney Plus have a few things landing. The Naughty Nine, I think, is this week, about kids that have ended up on the naughty list. I've already watched Dashing Through the Snow, which has Ludacris in a main role and is quite fun. I'm currently near the end of the first season of the Santa Clauses, which I've quite enjoyed, and obviously they have the Home Alone movies on there. Certainly the first one, maybe the first couple. Muppets Christmas Carol, different things that you can try and enjoy. Dotted about on Netflix and Amazon Prime, you've got the likes of The Holiday. I think Love Actually is somewhere there. And again, different ones that will pop up. But it was really quite funny the other day when my partner was jumping around the schedule and she said, I really fancied watching Elf. Elf isn't streaming anywhere. Now, this happened before. I think a lot of people noticed last year they couldn't find Elf, and it may have popped up on one of the channels eventually in the run up to Christmas. But I was quick to remind my partner that I have a cinema room. I have Elf on DVD. I've also got it on iTunes. I bought a Christmas holiday bundle package a while ago. It was like 5 or 6 films for, say, £20. Included Elf. I think I had The Polar Express, A Christmas Story. I think it had The Holiday in there, and maybe 1 or 2 others. But yeah, I have it here. So I felt like the physical embodiment of that meme or gif where, you know, people are complaining about not finding a film on the streaming service, and I'm like, got it sorted here. So that was fun. We ended up not watching Elf. We watched other cheesy Christmas fare instead, but Elf is available and Elf will be on the docket for the weeks ahead. I'm sure you've all got your favourites. I do really like Elf. I'm happy to always watch Home Alone. Christmas Vacation, It's a Wonderful Life. I'm really going absolutely blank on this stuff. A Christmas Story is fun and enjoyable, but it feels like it's one of those films that was more ingrained in American culture for years. So we eventually got it here, and I saw it and thought, you know, that's quite good. But it didn't run. I mean, in some places in America, I think it ran for at least 24 hours, just on a loop on 1 or 2 channels. I'm sure I've heard those things from friends. You can also get your horror kick on at this time of year, though. Any version of Black Christmas, if you want. I like the original. I don't love it as much as some people. I think it's good. I think it's very good because of the way it's shot and the way it does escalate certain moments, but it just doesn't come together in a completely satisfying way for me. The third act is just a bit of a misstep for me. The remake was a film that I was angry about for many years, the first remake, and then I rewatched it and thought it was actually quite funny. So then I realised they were kind of digging into the black comedy of it. And the last film, called Black Christmas, didn't really work for me. I didn't like that. But each to their own. You may enjoy that. There are lots of killer Santas about at this time of year. Silent Night, Deadly Night movies. And I know some people prefer that everyone just watches Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 because you get a recap of the best bits of part 1 and you get the extra madness. I prefer part 1 and watching that in its entirety, and then only watching part 2 if I am forced into it, because of the very reason that some people prefer it. There's what else is there? Is it All Through the House? And yeah, Better Watch Out. Well, there's Better Watch Out, that's the riff on Home Alone, and I thought there was a You'd Better Watch Out. There's so many that they all blend together now, so it's difficult for me to single out the ones that I've seen. I've seen most of them over the years, and I just, in my head, it's a big snowy mess of tinkling bells and power tools shedding blood with killer Santas going everywhere. Obviously at this time of year as well, a lot of people enjoy Anna and the Apocalypse. It's festive, it's musical, it has zombies and personally, I enjoy the Scottish accents that are all around on screen there. You can also watch the likes of Jingle All the Way, The Santa Claus. There's 3 of those movies, I think, unless any more have been made. And the Santa Clauses series on Disney Plus follows on from those. So those are quite enjoyable. Santa Claus, the movie, is a fun one. It's weird though, because again, when I was young, that was promoted heavily, and it was kind of being pushed as the film to see, and it was got to be the seasonal hit, and it's good, and it has a really nice kind of myth building, I think, for the first half, but it's not an all-time classic, but it is a nice one to watch at this time of year. Scrooged, the Bill Murray take on A Christmas Carol. You've got various versions of A Christmas Carol, which I enjoy a lot of them, but some of them don't quite make the grade. And when they don't make the grade, that's extra disappointing, because A Christmas Carol is just such a great story. I've read the story in its original text form by Dickens, and then I've seen many film versions of it, and when it goes wrong, I didn't like the Robert Zemeckis take on it with Jim Carrey in a variety of roles. It lost the magic. There was an animated version, I think, last year on Netflix, and it was just a bit disappointing, a bit bland. But other versions, Alistair Sim, classic. There's the Albert Finney version with the songs throughout. That's a musical. That's good. And now I've gone blank on versions of A Christmas Carol. That might be the main ones. I'll be happy to remember those. I'm not mentioning Muppets Christmas Carol again. It's on Disney Plus, and it's an amazing version of a tale, an amazing Muppet movie, an amazing movie, a Christmas favourite. So you should all watch that. I've rambled on again, mainly about Christmas movies, but there are many more that I've forgotten to mention. So that will have to do. I'm probably going to go now and have a mince pie and some hot chocolate already, because I've made myself think of that. Whatever you're up to in the weeks ahead, you'll see me once a week. There may be some more posts to enjoy, but enjoy yourselves. Try and make time for some movies if you can, but if not, enjoy whatever you're doing with the season, whether that's shopping, whether it's helping others while they're getting things arranged and they're doing their shopping, or they're planning their family time, or if you do get some chill time to relax. If you do, I'm very jealous. Until next week, we started with Oppenheimer, atomic bombs, and we ended with mince pies and hot chocolate. So, good one.